Hello there, everyone. I have been up to no good as of late. I have finally done something that I have always wanted to do. I have taken lead from a couple of other collectors that you may have seen on YouTube, and I have created a ceiling fan display in my bedroom. So there are now 5 functional ceiling fans in here, although 4 of them are running off of lamp cords, but you know. And so tonight, I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate them for you. What we have going on here, we have the old Jacksonville Jackson in the center. Oh, there's our chiming clock telling us that it's 10 p.m. Anyway, we have the old Jacksonville Jackson in the center. We have the Kermit-inspired Fasco Charleston over here. We have the old Jacksonville Savannah. There's a set of blades there. We have a Hunter. There's the same set of blades. We have a Hunter Comfort Breeze 3-speed model. And we have whatever the hell this is. It's labeled Deluxe ceiling fans. I don't know much else about it, other than it looks kind of like an Evergo, but it runs too well to be an Evergo, so... Anyway, we'll go ahead and start with the Jackson. This is a light kit that can be, well, first of all, this fan's kind of a combination of parts here. The light kit that's on it, it didn't come with a light kit when I got it. That light kit had bevel glass with it. I don't like bevel glass, so I put tulip glass on it because I like that much better. I found that wicker medallion at an estate sale and decided I'd put it up there. Then, of course, I realized, oh, wait, the fan needs to have cane because it did not come with blades, or did not come with cane blades, came with normal blades. Those are a set of Casablanca cane blades that came on a 4 Seasons that I have, whose slumber quiet needs to be repaired, because what else is new? This light kit is selectable, so you can have the outer ones, or just the inner one. This is actually probably how I would keep it most of the time, considering there's also a paucity of lamps in here. And the 5 of these bulbs together, as you may have noticed, is brighter than the sun itself. So, let's go ahead and turn the fan on. It is starting up on its lowest speed setting. You would think that the fan would be faster with the cane blades, because you would think the cane blades missing a chunk of wood like that would be lighter. Turns out, however, the Casablanca blades, although they are much thinner than the old Jacksonville blades were, they're apparently much, much denser because they're still heavier, even with the cane. So it's actually a little slower on high speed, but, you know, it's still very serviceable. Ironically enough, I think the low speed is faster. So I'm not really sure what happened there. About a quarter turn here. That knob is just within my reach without having to stand on step stools or whatever else. Ow. There's that blade again. I had this room so nice and cleaned up, and actually it is still mostly cleaned up. But I brought home some of the farm fans on my last trip to repair them. And I haven't got around to doing anything with them, so right now they're just kind of sitting on the floor, waiting their turn. Let's just go straight to high. We're pretty much there already. Has a little bit of shimmy to it. Not too bad. If anything, it's smoother on high speed, which is good because that's where it'll stay almost all of the time. I don't usually do this because it takes up a lot of time. I know people like spin downs. I don't really understand why. But because this is kind of a special video, I will go ahead and do them here. So we'll go ahead and let this spin down. Some of the more observant members of the viewing audience have noticed that there are also a couple of chandeliers in here. That one is powered up and plugged in and working. That one needs a cord put on it, so it's just kind of being auditioned for now. But I'm getting ready to go pick up another one, a much older one, that I may try in its place. We'll see. It's much bigger though, so it may interfere with the fan blades. We'll jump off that bridge when we get to it. It's an old school pan light, probably the 30s, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Doesn't take all that long to stop. At least this one doesn't. That little spinner you saw will take forever. That's part of why we're doing that one last. We'll turn our attention next to the Kermit-inspired Fasco Charleston. The blades were already green when I got the fan, so no, that was not one of my less than totally inspired ideas. The light kit, however, was. I have 3 of these globes. I don't know what they came off of. And normally you see these fitters with 4-inch lips. Well, these are 3¼ inch shades. So I didn't have a light kit they'd fit on, but somehow I found one with 3¼ fitters. And so now I have those, and I also have this totally awesome glow-in-the-dark 1960s pull chain, which was a total pain to find. I had another one years ago, but that's beside the point. There's the light. Works very well. And we'll go ahead and set the fan to its low speed. One thing I like about Fasco fans, at least from my knowledge of them, which is fairly limited as I've only had a few, but I'm of the impression, at least of the few that I've dealt with over the years, the speed sequence, the variation in speeds seems to be very similar. I appreciate that, because even a small fan like this has a nice slow low speed. Not that we really need that, because here in the portion of the United States where I happen to be, there's really only about 3 days out of the entire year where the fans ever need to drop below high speed. I don't even bother getting up there to reverse them. We just never need it. Go ahead and take it to medium while I'm continuing to talk. The one nice thing about having 5 functioning ceiling fans in this room has always been the hottest room in the house, because its 2 windows are directly between where the sun sets. So in the afternoon, this room gets to be about like a sauna, approaching a certain level of a very hot portion of the universe. And having these 5 fans in here has proven to keep the temperature at least bearable at best. And so that has actually been very nice to have. I probably should have stopped the Centurion wall clock over there so that it would not be ticking, because although that's a comforting sound to me, I would imagine that some of you out there will probably find it very annoying. But I just wound it and I don't feel like opening it up again. So, especially since with the way that door is that whole clock is kind of busticated, it's kind of a chore to get it open to where you can actually reach the pendulum, so I just didn't feel like I could be bothered. So apologies if that gets on people's nerves. Funny story relating to those clocks, though. I have an old mantel clock that I was in the process of regulating, and I had it downstairs, and I left it down there for about a half hour, and my dad said, "Can you come get this clock down here? The ticking's driving me crazy." I was more than a little surprised he could hear it in the first place, because I could barely hear it, and I have very sensitive hearing to stuff like that, but he heard it, so there you go. We'll go ahead and move on to the Savannah over here, which has the cool old jack stencil. The best part. Oh, come on, don't stall. Okay. This thing has been, ouch. This thing has been stalling out recently, and I'm not really sure why. I did set the low trim, but the bearings aren't stiff. And I set it high enough that it wouldn't have been a problem. Of course, it was set extremely high when I got it. Way too high for my tastes. This one's a little higher, being on a ball socket instead of a hook. So I actually do need the step stool over here to increase the speed. Let's not trip over this fan motor here that I so wisely placed in front of my workbench because I'm trying to fix the switch housing that broke. Haven't exactly figured out how I'm going to do that yet, but you know, we'll see. This fan has a blade that is out of clock. Some of the more observant members of the viewing audience may have noticed that. And so when you get it up on the higher speeds, it does start to shake just a little bit, but it's not too bad. Get up to high. It flies, as you can see. I don't usually have it set quite that high. I usually have it somewhere around the prior setting that you saw a moment ago. Really, the only ones that ever run on high are the Jackson and the Charleston. Sometimes a Comfort Breeze, but not always. It sounded like the dog was pissed off about something. I wonder what my mom did to annoy her this time. Or maybe she's trying to tell Mom to come get me or something, because it is about time for said dog's walk. But she can wait a few minutes. Okay, there's that. We'll go ahead and move on to the Comfort Breeze over here. As mentioned, this is a 3-speed Comfort Breeze as opposed to a 2-speed. Although even the low speed is rather fast. A little faster than I like. I do appreciate a nice slow low speed. But I guess for a 36-inch fan you really can't complain. Pull chain got bound up on this one earlier, and I fixed it, and it seems to be doing fine now, but just watch, it'll get stuck on me again here in just a little bit. And then I'll have to figure out how I fix it again. Not that it was hard, it was just kind of annoying to get up there. Some of you have also noticed that I appreciate using this type of light bulb. Minus that, because I kind of ran out of them. Need to venture out to the various little old mom and pop hardware stores around here and see how many more of those I can find. Because they're not exactly the easiest thing to find in the world anymore. In fact, any kind of incandescent light bulb is not exactly hard to find anymore. And I don't really have anything against LEDs. I use them in certain applications, but for stuff like this, you know, old fixtures, it kind of makes sense. You know, just that old look. I suppose if I found some LEDs that had a shape like that with that wavy glass, if such a thing was actually produced, which I don't think it is, but if it was, I would. Or if anyone knows where a person can find those, I haven't tried to look on Amazon. You might be able to find them on Amazon. I probably should check that, because I do need a few dozen packages of them. I burned through the stockpile I had, but there you go. One more fan. The spinner over here. More of those same light bulbs. There's why I need some more. Because one, as you can see, decided to give up the ghost the other day, which is super convenient. It's partially my fault. I left the light on while I was at the farm. I came back and discovered I was missing a bulb. This is another fan that absolutely flies. That light kit's making an irritating noise that it was not making the other night when I was using it last, but there you go. I also remembered that I forgot to mention where these fans came from. That came from a trade with another collector, as did that, although at a different time. That was found at a thrift store, and these other two both, or no, that came from Habitat, this came from a garage sale. And this is how it came, with the bleached oak blades and everything. It had a different light kit on it when I got it. It came with a generic schoolhouse light. And I put the light kit that you see on it. Other than that, that's how it came. So yeah, that's medium speed. It's already flying like a scalded bat out of hell, as you can see. There's not a whole heck of a lot of difference between medium and high. I'll give it this much, it certainly runs well. Let's spin down. This one's gonna take a while. Luckily, it's right over here by my bed, so I can just lay down and watch it that way. It really annoys me that one of those light bulbs is out, but it annoys me less than having a totally different kind of light bulb in there would. Because at least all the light bulbs, if you can see the bulbs, all the bulbs in a fixture need to match. At least in my opinion. I'm weird like that. OCD runs in my family, can you tell? The air conditioning shut off. Now it's eerily quiet in here, other than the pronounced ticking of that clock. Those Korean-made clocks are very loud. Okay, there you go. So there, for your viewing pleasure, is my ceiling fan display. I'm going to see if I can get them all in one shot. I don't know that that's going to happen. Yeah, Kinda. I may see if I can get a still shot of them from that angle if I zoom the camera out. Somehow, if I do that, that'll be the thumbnail. But there you go. 2 old Jacksonvilles, a Fasco, a Hunter, and whatever the hell this is. Like I said, all it says on the top is Deluxe. From the looks of things, there's really not much deluxe about it. It's pretty utilitarian, but hey, it works, so there you go. One last pan around here. All right, there's it.